Good day everyone, my name is Baguio. For today's video, I'm gonna discuss my answer in drill in vector r squared. So in number 1, plot the following points in r squared. So in letter A, the given points are 2 and -1. So 2 is here is our x-axis and -1 here is our y-axis. So I plot the 2 here and the -1 here. If we connect the 2 and 1, the points of 2 and -1 is located here. So that is my answer in letter A. In letter B, the given points are -1 and 2. And our -1 here is the x-axis and 2 is the y-axis. So in Cartesian plane, the -1 is located here and the positive 2 is located here. And if we connect the -1 and positive 2, the points of -1 and positive 2 is located here. So that is my answer in letter B. In letter C, the given points are 3 and 4. So in Cartesian plane, the 3 is located here in the x-axis and 4 is in the y-axis. So 3 is here and 4 is here. If we connect the 3 and 4, the points of 3 and 4 is located here. So that is my answer in items 1, A, B, and C. So now, let's proceed to item 2, which is the number 2. Determine the head of the vector -2, 5, whose tail is at 3 and 2. So since we have already the tail, so atong pangitaon is the head of the vector. So the given is our x here is -2 and our y here is 5. Our A here is 3 and our B here is 2. So in order to get the head of the vector, we will use this formula: x plus A, y plus B. So our x value, the value of our x is -2, and the value of our A is 3. The value of our y is 5. The value of our B is 2. So -2 plus 3 is equals to 1. 5 plus 2 is equals to 7. So the head of the vector is 1 and 7. So that is my answer. So let's proceed to number 3. Given the two vectors, x is 1 and 6, y is 7 and 2, -2. So the question is, find the x plus y. So the solution is, we substitute the x, which is the 1 and 6, and y is the 7 and -2. And the axis of 1 and 6 here is 1. So we will combine, anyways, before that, we will combine the x value of 1 and 6 and the x value of 7 and 2, -2. So the x value of 1 of 6 here is 1, and the x value of 7 and -2 is here is 7. So 1 plus 7. The y value here is 6 and the y value here is -2. So 6 plus -2. So 1 plus 7 is equals to 8. 6 plus -2 is equals to 4. So the value or the answer of the x plus 7 is x 8 and 4. So if we plot this one, so since our x is 1 and 6, so 1 and 6 is located here, 1 and 6, and our y value is 7 and -2, so it is located here. And if we add this to this x plus y, is the point of the x plus y is located here, which is the 8 and 4. So that is my answer in letter A. In letter B, solve or find the x minus 5. So the solution is our x is 1 and 6, our y is 7 and negative 2. So substitute 1 and 6, 7 and 2, and negative 2. So same job on combine the x and y. So our x here is 1, our x here is 7. So 1 minus 7 is equals to negative 6, and our y here is 6, and our y here is negative 2. So 6 minus negative 2 is 8. So the answer of x minus y is equals to negative 6 and 8. So if we plot this one sa in Cartesian plane, 1 and 6 is located here, 7 and negative 2 is located here, and the answer or the subtract the answer of x minus y is located here, which is the negative 6 and 8. So that is my answer in letter B. And letter C, find the 3x minus 2y. So since our x value is 1 and 6, and our y here is 7 and negative 2, so we will times this into 3. We will times the x into 3, and we will times the we will multiply the y into 2. So 3 times 1 is equals to 3. 3 times 6 is equals to 18. 2 times 2 times 7 is equals to 14. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So we will combine the x and y. So the x and y here is the 3, and the x here is the 14. So 3 minus 14 is equals to negative 11. So the y here is 18, and the y here is negative 4. So 18 minus negative 4 is equals to 22. So that is the answer of 3x minus 2y is equals to negative 1122. So if we plot this one, since our value of our answer of 3x is 3 and negative 18, so we will plot this one, 3 and 18, and the answer of 2y is this one, 14 and negative 4, and the answer of this 2 is negative 11 and 22. So that is the plot of the letter C. So let's proceed to letter D. Find the x times y. So our x here is the 1 and 6 plus 7 and negative 2. So same ra Japon, i-combine ang x and y. So our x here is 1 and our x here is 7. So 1 times 7 is equal to 7. And our y here is 6, and our y here is negative 2. So 6 times negative 2 is equals to negative 12. So 7 plus negative 12 is equals to negative 5. So that is my answer in letter D. In letter E, find the absolute value of x and find the absolute plus the absolute value of y. So since our value of x is 1 and 6, so we will square root this one, and the value of y is 7 and 2, so we will square root this one. So square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2. So 1 to the power of 2 is 1, and 6 to the power of 2 is 36, and here is 7 to the power of 2 is 49, negative 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So 1 plus 36 is equals to 37. So square root of 37. 49 plus 4 is equals to square root of 53. So 37 plus 53 is equals to square root of 90. So that is my answer in letter E. So letter F is the projection of x onto y. So the solution, our x here is 1 and 6 and our y here is 7 and negative 2. So absolute value of x cos theta equals absolute value of x times y over absolute value of x and absolute value of y equals x times y. So since onto y man siya, so ato siyang gamitan or ato ibutan diri is absolute value of y. So the value of x here is 1 and 6 and our y here is 7 and negative 2 over the absolute value of y, which is 7 and negative 2. So same na Japon ato i-combine ang ilang x diri and iyang x diri. So ang iyang x diri is 1 and ang iyang x diri is 7 and iyang y diri is 6, iyang y diri is negative 2. So over the square root of 7 to the power of 2 plus negative 2 to the power of 2. So 1 times 7 is equals to 7, 6 times 2 is equals to negative 12 over 7 to the power of 2 is equals to 49 plus negative 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So 7 plus negative 12 is equals to negative 5. So 49 plus 4 is equals to 53 and naman siya square root, so square root of 53. So mu of y equals to 7 and negative 2 over square root of 53. So ato silang i-separate kaning 7 and 2. So 7 over square root of 53 and negative 2 over square root of 53. So therefore, the projection of x onto y is equals to negative 5 over square root of 53 times 7 over 50 square root of 53 negative 2 over square root of 53. So negative 5 times 7 is equals to negative 35. Negative 5 times negative 2 is equals to 2 over both over square root of 53 equals to negative 37 over 53 and 10 over 53. So negative 35 over square root of 53 is equals to negative 0.66 and 10 divided by square root of 53 is equals to 0.19. So mao na siya answer sa letter F. Let's proceed to letter G. The projection of y onto x. So onto x na po siya. So our x here is 1 and 6, our y here is 7 and negative 2. So absolute value of y cos theta equals absolute of y times x times y over absolute value of x, absolute value of y. So x minus x times y, since onto x man siya, so x atong gamiton dire. So since our value here of the x is 1 and 6, the value of y is 7 and negative 2, and the value of x is 1 and 6. So square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2. So same ra Japon ang process atong i-combine ang x here and x pa dire. So ang x dire is 1 and x dire is y. And y dire is 6 and y dire kay negative 2. Over to the square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2 equals 1 times 7 is equals to 7 plus 6 times negative 2 is equals to negative 12 over 1 plus 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2 is equals to square root of 37. So 7 plus negative 12 is equals to negative 5 over square root of 37. So mu of x equals to 1 and 6 over square root of 37. So ato silang i-separate ang 1 and 6. So 1 equals to square root of 37, 6 to the square root of 37. So therefore, the projection into y into x is equals to negative 5 over square root of 37 times 1 over the square root of 37, 6 over the square root of 37. So negative 5 times 1 is equals to negative 5. Negative 5 times 6 is equals to negative 30. So negative 5 over 37 of negative 5 divided by 37 is equals to 0.14. So negative 30 divided by 37 is equals to negative 0.81. So that is my answer in letter G. So let's proceed to letter H. So here, letter H is the unit vector along the vector x. If x is a non-zero vector, then x over to the absolute value of x is a unit vector. So atong i-prove dire na ang value of x and value of absolute value of x is ma-equal to 1 siya. So, mo na siya. So, proof, let x be equal to 1 and 6, then x over the absolute of x, and we substitute it as our value of our x here is 1 and 6 and equals to the square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2. So, we separate the 1 and 6, so it's like this, 1 over the square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2, 6 over the square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2. And then, we square root the both this one. We square root this one, and so 1 to the square 1 over to the square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2 square root square over to the power of 2 plus 6 over 1 square root of 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 over to the power of 2. And then we separate we transpose these two. Actually, there is to the power of 2 here. We transpose the 2 here, so it comes like this, 1 to the power of 2. We transpose the 2 here, and it's like this, and we transpose the 2 here, it's like this. Afterwards, we separate the 1 and 6, so 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2 equals 1 to the power of the main denominator of these 2 is 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2. So 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2 equals 1 to the power of 2 plus 6 to the power of 2 is equals to equals to square root of 1, and the value of this is 1. So we prove that the x is a non-zero vector, then x equals to absolute value of x is a unit vector. Same goes into letter I, but here is if y is a non-zero, then y square is equals to absolute value of y is an unit vector. Same process, but we but here is the value of y of ang gigamit. So value of y is 7 to negative 2 over square root of 7 to the power of 7 to the power of 2 plus negative 2 to the power of 2. So gi-separate ang 7 and 2, dayon gi-square root ang kanis lang duha, and afterwards gi-distribute ang 2 to the square to the power of 2 sa 7 and to the power of 2 sa negative 2. So gi-square root, and then na-prove nato na kaning y over absolute value of y is a non-zero and it is a unit vector. So mao na siya letter I. Now we will proceed to letter J. So the area of the triangle formed by x, y, and x minus y. So The value of x is 1 and 6. The value of y is 7 and negative 2. So, atong gipangita is the answer of x minus y. So, the value of x is 1 and 6, and the value of y is 7 and negative 2. So, 1 and 6 minus 7 and negative 2. So, atong buhaton is to combine ang x dire and x po dire. So, ang x dire is 1 and x dire is 7. So, 1 minus 7 is equals to negative 6, and x and y dire is 6, and y dire kay negative 2. So, 6 minus negative 2 is equals to positive 8. So, ang answer ani is mo ni siya, negative 6 and 8. So, if i-plot na to, ang x nato dire is naa dire na locate 1 and 6, and ang y nato kay dire kaning 7 and negative 2. And ang negative 6 and 8 is located here. So, muna siya answer sa letter J. So, number 4 na ta. Let's proceed to number 4. So, find x times y if x is 1 and 2 and y is 2 and negative 3. So, solution, x times y. So, atong x is 1 and 2. So, 1 times 2 plus atong y is 2 and negative 3. So, 2 times negative 3. So, 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So, 2 plus negative 6 is equals to negative 4. Letter B. Find the x plus y. So, our value of x is 1 and 0, and the value of y is 0 and 1. So, solution, x times y. So, the value of x is 1 and 0 plus y is 0 plus 0 times 1. So, 1 times 0 is equals to 0 plus 0 times 1 is equals to 0. So, 0 plus 0 is equals to 0. Letter C. Same lang Japon, find ang x times y. So, atong value of x is negative 3 and 4, and atong value sa y is 4 and negative 3. Solution, ang i-substitute lang, ang value sa x is negative 3 and times 4 plus plus 4 times negative 3. So, negative 3 times 4 is equals to negative 12. 4 times negative 3 is equals to positive 12. So, negative 12 plus 12 equals to 0. Same goes sa letter D. Pangitaon dyan po ng x times y. So, atong value sa x is 2 and y. And atong value sa 2 and 1. And value sa y is negative 1 and 2. So, 2 times negative 1 plus 1 times negative 2. Negative 1 times times positive 2. Actually, nasa'yo parang siya sulat. So, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus negative 1 times 2 is equals to negative 2. So, negative 2 plus negative 2 is equals to negative 4. So, number 5. So, find the cosine of the angle between each pair of the of vectors x and y of item 4. So, kani atong giansiran ganina. So, atong gamiton ang points sa x and y sa items 4. So, sa letter A, ang points dito kay, ang x nato dito is 1 and 2, and y dito is 2 and negative 3. So, cos theta equals to absolute value of x times y over absolute value of x plus, times absolute value of y equals to x times 7 over absolute value of y equals to the value of x is 1 and 2, the value of y is 2 and negative 3 over the absolute value of 7 is equals to square root of 2 to the power of 2 plus 3 negative 3 to the power of 2. So, 1 times 2 atong buhatan diri kani sa taas is to combine their x and y. So, ang x diri is 1 and x diri is 2, and ang y diri is 2 and y diri is negative 3. So, over the square root of 2 to the power of 2 plus negative 3 to the power of 2. So, 1 times 2 is equals to 2, 2 times 3 is to 2 times negative 3 is equals to negative 6 over 2 to the power of 2 is equals to 4. Negative 3 to the power of 2 is negative 9. So 2 plus negative 6 equals to negative 4 over to the square root of 4 plus 9 is equals to square root of 13. So mu of y is equals to 2 negative 3 over square root of 13. And i-separate nato silang duwa, kaning 2 and 3. So 2 over square root of 13 and 3 to the square over to the square root of 13. So therefore, the projection of x is negative 4 over square root of 13 times 2 to the power of square root of 13, negative 3 to the power square root of 13. So negative 4 times 2 is equals to negative 8. Negative 4 times negative 3 is equals to positive 12. So negative 8 divided by 13 is equals to negative 0.61, and 12 over 13 is equals to 0.92. So muna siya answer sa letter A. Sa letter B, same process lang, but same process lang pero ang atong value is nausob. So diri ta proceed pa diri. So x times 7 over over the absolute value of y. So the value of x is 1 and 0. The value of y is 0 and 1. So over to the absolute value of y. So square root of 0 to the power of 2 plus 1 to the power of 2. So sunod ani atong buhaton is i-combine ang x and y nila. So ang x nila diri is 1, ang x diri is 0. Ang y diri is 0 and y diri kay 1. So over to the square root of 0 to the power of 2 plus 1 to the power of 2 equals to 0 plus 0. 1 times 0 is equal to 0. 0 times 1 is equal to 0. So 0 plus 0 is equals to 0. And to the square root of 0 plus 1 is equals to the square root of 1. Equals na actually to the square root of 1. So mu 0 and 1 to the power of over to the square root of 1. So i-separate silang duha, man siya yung gawa. So therefore, the projection of x into y is equals to 0 over to the power of square root of 1 times 0 to over square root of 1, 1 to the square root of 1. So 0 times 0 is equals to 0, 0 times 1 is equals to 0. So 0 divided by 1 is equals to 0. 0 to divided by 1 is equals to 0. So muna siya answer. So sa letter C, same lang Japon ang process, but ang value sa x na to and y is lahi. So we proceed this one. So x times y over the absolute value of y. So atong x diri is negative 3 and 4. Ang atong y diri is 4 and negative 3. Over the absolute value of y is square root of 4 to the power of 2 plus negative 3 to the power of 2. So sunod, ato siyang i-combine na pod ang x na pod and ang iyang y. So ang iyang x diri is negative 3, ang iyang x diri is 4, ang iyang y diri is negative 4, ang y diri is negative 3. So over square root of 4 to the power of 2 plus negative 3 to the power of 2. So negative 3 times 4 is equals to 12 plus negative 4 times negative 3 is equals to positive 12 over 4 to the power of 2 is 16 plus negative 2 to the power of 2 is 9. So square root of 16 plus 9 is equals to square root of 25. And negative 12 plus 0, plus 2, 12 is equals to 0. So mu 4 and negative 3 over to the square root of 25. Separate ang duha. So therefore, the projection of x into y is equals to 0 over the square root of 25 times 4 to the square root of 25 negative 3 to the square root of 25. So 0 times 4 is equals to 0. Is equals to 0. 0 times negative 3 is equals to 0. So 0 divided by 25 is equals to 0. 0 to divided by 25 is equals to 0. So 0 and 0 ang answer sa letter C. So letter D, same goes sa Japan, but the value of x and y is lahi. So mo ni siya 2 and 1. Atong value of x and value of 1 is negative 1 and negative 2. And the value of absolute of y is negative 1, square root of negative 1 to the power of 2 plus negative 2 to the power of 2. So equals, so i-combine like terms i-combine ang x and y. So ang x diri is 2, ang x diri is negative 1, ang y diri is 1, ang y diri is negative 2 over to the square root of negative 1 to the power of 2 plus negative 2 to the power of 2. So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus 1 times negative 2 is equals to over to the power of negative 1 to the power of 2 is 1, negative 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So square root of 1 plus 4 is equals to 5, and negative 2 plus negative 2 is equals to negative 4. So mu ana they separate mu sa negative 1 and negative 2 to the to over of square root of 5, then i-separate silang duha. So therefore the projection of x and y is equals to negative 4 over negative square root of 5 times negative 1 to the square root of 5, negative 2 and the square root of 5. So negative 4 times 1 and negative 1 is equals to 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is equals to 8. So 4 divided by 5 is equals to 0.8. 8 divided by 5 is equals to 1.6. So muna akong answer sa drills and vectors are squared. So and that's all. Thank you.